Everyone, this is Pepper Pace. Welcome back to my nursery. And today I wanted to do a blanket reveal of little Emmy number 2. Emmy number 2 is the second Emmy full body silicone kit that I've done by Jennifer Sussman Price. The first one was a multiracial brown skin baby. This one is a fair baby or a baby with albinism, however you want to look at her. But I thought we would finally look at her all complete and just kind of see her movements and her unique qualities. So I absolutely love the way she turned out. I love this soft white hair. It is just like the whitest hair possible. And she got the little side eye going. Oh, look at that little side eye baby going. But I did intend for her to be considered a baby with albinism, but it's really up to mommy to make that decision. So first thing first, she does have armatures in her arms, in her wrists. Okay. And she can, like, sometimes people ask me, do they got underarms? I say, yeah, on this baby, she do have underarms. Okay. Also, she has armatures in her legs. I meant to mention that the armatures in her hands are independent, so they don't go from hand to hand. That way you can move one hand and the other one don't move. Because I'm not always in love with armatures, but I definitely don't like that aspect of having arm armatures. She does have leg armatures. I would not, even though she's not a froggy leg baby, I still would not straighten her leg out all the way. And so she can, I didn't really intend for her to have ankle armatures, but yeah, I put the armatures in myself. But her armature ends here, so she really can, if you really wanted her to, she really could move her ankles a bit, but it's really intended just so that she can get into more like a pose like that. Okay. Now, her painting is modeled in newborn, so she does have a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but she does have some little pink and purple aspects. I think the camera is picking up more tones than what my naked eye can pick up, but I use natural light, so I can't really say how I would change it so that you can see her the way I see her. Like, for instance, this little part right here, my naked eye didn't really pick up that I needed to dust her right there, but yeah. Let's look at her back, and then we can kind of do some movements on her, and we'll get her dressed too. We'll get her in some clothes. There we go. And let's put your arm like that, and your feet like this. I guess this is the way people, and I like one thing that I did when I did her armatures, like her legs can go together. So that is not something that I see a lot with armatures, because that's something that I don't always like when the legs stay really froggy. So nice soft armatures. So that's really cute. And she has kind of like a red bum, And let's see some movements here. She does have that skin quality when you do the bend. She is a soft silicone, but I wouldn't call her a marshmallow. But she does bend nice and easily like that. Her head doesn't look like it's gonna pop off. So when you pick her up, it doesn't just like blip, 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 flop, flop all around. So her, her motions are really great. I thought we would put some clothes on her, and let me bring it out just a little bit and get her dressed now that we saw her little movements. I don't have her eyes set, and I'm not positive if how I'm going to set them. If I'm going to have her, like right now, she's looking up to the side. Because these are not necessarily her permanent eyes. She will have blue eyes, but I ordered some more eyes that, might look a little bit more as if she is a baby with albinism. Okay, so little Emmy, let's go ahead and put on. I love these. Feels dusty. I love these little body suits. She is a preemie size. I know it's hard to tell on camera, but she's not a tiny preemie size. She's a really nice preemie size. And we'll look at her hair too, because I didn't really show you. This is an angora hair. And I'm just now learning that there are people who don't like angora hair because it is a lot more fragile than just normal mohair. So, but it's so fine and so soft, but you really do have to take extra precautions. I'm not saying that it's going to pull out the roots any easier. I'm just saying that, you want to make sure it doesn't break because it's a lot more finer. All right, little girl. Now, Emmy does have a drinking wet system, and I'll put that in too. I was getting cocky. I was like, oh, this is my third one. I can do it really easy. And then I was like, let me go ahead and fill her mouth in. Here, I'm going to show you if you can see. I was like, I want to, you can't really see in there, but I was like, I think I want to fill her mouth after I put the tubing in and cut it. And then I ended up clogging up her wet and dry system. So I had to redo it after she was painted. Now, luckily, she's a little tiny thing, so I didn't have any problems. If you are a member of my membership channel, then you have seen when I was learning how to do the wet and dry system, I didn't have any of that. When I was working with her, it was just my little mistakes that now I know not to do. Don't try filling. Don't try extra painting. You do not want to do anything to clog up that tubing. Look, she's so cute here. So let's look at her hair. Y'all, this is the cutest hair. I always say that this is my favorite brand of hair. The lady who I purchased it from, I believe is Russia. I believe that she, her shop on Etsy is no longer operational. And she didn't just sell hair. She sold a lot of other products that were, related to Reborn dolls. But she sewed her hair on the hide. So that means that it still had the backing of the animal on the back of it, which, you have to cut it off the hide itself. So we know that it's, authentic. Now, which one should we use? I think we're going to use this one. And when I use these like alligator clips, it doesn't catch here. It, can catch here, but I'm going to make sure that I never pull it out. I always unlatch it. And we'll just put it right here. All right. You are just definitely so cute. Now I have some pacifiers. This is the pacifier that came with Emmy, and it's it's a tiny one. It's for preemies. And then this is one that I already had. The brand is called Nano Baby. Nano Baby. I don't know if you can read it, but Nanobebe. And then these are always silicone, so they are gonna always catch a little bit of lint or hair. This is the one that came with her, and this is called Chico, Chicco. So once you start altering, and I'm just using a little bit of silicone gel. This is water soluble. Oh, I always squeeze too much. All right, but we'll just put a little bit on this one, a little bit on this one, and we do have a bottle here. So we'll put a little bit on the bottle. So I think we have enough to cover everything. And then we'll put a little bit in Emmy's mouth. There we go. So it does occur to me that when you're putting pacifiers in bottles in her mouth and you're wanting to make sure that you don't mess up the paint in the mouth, you are putting a silicone gel or maybe a powder, but you want to make sure that you always clean it out afterwards so that you don't clog up that tubing. Because once that tubing got clogged up for me, whew, I was like, never again. All right, little lady. So this is how her pacifier sits in her mouth. This one. And it's okay. Okay, so we got that one. And then we have this one. And I think this one sits in her mouth a little bit better because it kind of hugs her cheeks a little bit. All right, I'm going to get some earrings because Emmy has not had her ears pierced. And you know what? I can't pierce her ears because I didn't reinforce her ears yet. And I'm going to show you what I mean when I say reinforce. Okay, so what I mean is that you need to put extra gel. You need to put extra silicone, or you need to get like your silicone adhesive, or you can get your Eco, whichever, like if you get it from the sculptor, they will typically, or at least the ones at Silicone Studio, they will include some of the extra silicone for repairs. And now what you would want to do, let me get a little bit closer here. You would want to put a little dab here and a little dab back here. That way, and look how delicate her little pretty ears are. That way, when you pierce ears, they don't rip. So I'm going to just move her hair out the way. So I'm just going to put her little sleep cap on. I don't know how good that sleep cap gonna do with all this hair little Emmy has. And we'll just go ahead and do this right here on camera. And then we'll cut loose. Let's take this out. I don't want it to pull out accidentally. And sorry to cover your pretty little face. But we want to make sure that we don't get any hairs stuck in the silicone. Let's go ahead and wet the hair a little bit so it can stay in place. Yeah, I meant for this to be a quick video, but I forgot last night to do this part, which was to reinforce her little ears. All right. And this is not in the way, but we'll spray it a little bit. And I just have a little spray container with water. And with this angora hair, you really don't need to do anything. Once you wet it, you can achieve so much. You can flatten it out. You can make it curly. All right, let's get her a tiny bit closer. And she's going to be like this. Okay, I decided to take her out of her crib so that I can do this a lot better. And this is a palette where I've already done some work, so it still has some, like this is the Eco that would have come with her. The difference, the Eco is very strong and you could definitely use that. But the difference is with using this silicone adhesive, which is part of your, should be, if you're a doll collector, should be a part of your repertoire for repairs. The difference with this is that it's clear. So I'm just going to cover her entire lobe. That way, when I do pierce it, her ears, they will never zipper. They'll make that kind of tear. I should have did the back first. I don't know if you can see, but let's do this a little bit better. Okay. And then of course this will be shiny, and that's fine because then you just powder it. I'm going to take a toothpick and just make sure that it's smoothed out. All right, and this time when we do it, we're going to do the underside first. You don't have to use a toothbrush. It probably would be better with a stick. This dries super fast too, so just beware. I know you can't see. I know my hands are in the way, but it's really more important that I get it on there than that you see exactly how it looks going on. All right, let's make sure that this is not in the way. And we will put the last little dollop right here on her ear. I'm going to take the stick and make sure it's spread out. There we go. And we will be back in maybe an hour, and it should be nice and dry. Okay, welcome back. So Emmy's ear has been reinforced, her lobe, and then I powdered it. So that way when I pierce her ear, and this is the earring I'm going to be using. I think it's so pretty and so colorful, and it's really tiny. And when you take, if mom doesn't want her ears pierced or would like to switch out her earring, you can do so easily, and the hole will never show. It's just going to disappear. So if you don't want the earrings, or if you want to switch out to another one, these are the kind that screw on the back. So I always do this. My fingers never want to work. All right, there we go. Maybe up a little high. We're going to put the other one up high too. I combed her hair a little bit. We'll match the position. This ear doesn't have as much space behind it, so I'm going to angle it so that I can put the back on there. That's a little bit too much. See, you can't see that there was a hole made. There we go. Yeah. All right. So now baby girl has her pierced ears. We looked at her movement, and I think we have settled on this type of pacifier. It's still wet. So I will, after we finish filming, I will clean her mouth out. But before we do that, if I see a little spot on her face, I can take some matting powder, and I just take a little paintbrush, and I can just knock that shine off. Y'all, don't y'all just love her hair? It is so sweet. And then I did reposition her eyes to look a little bit forward. Okay, so let's give her a bottle, if I can find her bottle. And we're just going to use this little Playtex nursery, which I love. This has the magic milk in it. And I'm going to put a little bit of gel on there. And this time I'm going to try just to get the smallest amount. I got some on her bed. Okay. And I make sure that the milk is not stuck in the reservoir. And then we'll give her a little feeding as we discuss the fact that she is for sale and that she is waiting for her forever home. So be sure to check her out. She is in my nursery at Pepper's Reborn Boutique. I'm going to also include some pictures that I took from her photo shoot. She turned out so cute, guys. But yeah, she's looking for her forever home. Let's get her head turned a little bit more so you can see her a little better. And I love how this Playtex nursery, the nipple fits in her mouth really well. Even though she's a little preemie baby, her drinking wet works. And her little armatures are perfect and independent. She does have a tendency to be trying to pull out her hair. So y'all gonna have to keep a mitt on her when you get her. So, all right, that's pretty good, little baby girl. She drank almost all of it. All right. Get her mouth cleaned out a little bit. All right, guys. So that is it for our reveal. And we'll do some more content with Emmy number 2. Let's look at Emmy number 1 because Emmy number 1 is still for sale too. So I'm going to put her this way so we can fit Emmy number 1 in there. Okay, here is Emmy number 1, and she has been sleeping in my room. I have a little bed set up, so she's still available, although there are many people who are still trying to purchase Emmy number 1. They're trying to get their down payment together, so if you guys are interested in little Emmys, both have detachable tongues, both is drinking wet, both have independent armatures, and both will come with a really cute box opening. Just let us know. Bye, everyone.